a final draft, as you guys might know. And I would like to introduce to the stage here in just a second some actually masterful shadow puppeteers. They've been practicing actually for months in the mountains of Tibet at the workshop of a great shadow puppeteer guru. His name is Black Griffin. Don't get greedy. All right. Well, then, I might as well get this started. You guys ready for the voice actor panel? Well, then, let's give it up for first and certainly not least, Michelle Creber.
Hi.
That was really an emphatic thud.
Yes.
That was great. That's good.
Yes.
Please don't shear my hair on stage. Anybody seen that? No? Okay. All right, and then, of course, Andrea Libman.
Oh, the lights just changed.
Yeah, they're going to keep changing.
I'm going to sit over there.
What?
You're just going to sit over there.
Hi. Hi.
Okay, so just so you guys know how this is going to go, I'm asking just a few general questions, and then we're going to go to Q&A. And I believe the way we're going to do this is once everybody's filtered in, they're going to close those doors. There are going to be two lines for Q&A, one over there, one over there. There will be a helpful AV staffer wearing a blue shirt who will make sure your question is appropriate. Just remember that kids always get to ask the questions first, and also sponsors. So you guys got all that? Are we good to go? Excellent.
This is fancy lighting. My
It is
goodness.
really good, isn't
Never
it?
had such fancy lighting on a panel.
Guess who set it up?
Just look at that. Who?
Are you guys having fun so far?
Jeremiah Pastor.
Me too.
Yes.
So first question for you two, have you had a chance to see the Mall of America yet?
No.
No.
I am
I know, because we had to come to this panel.
I'm sorry.
Come on, you
Just
guys.
kidding.
Honestly.
No.
Wish
It's
you
not a
guys
bad
did
thing.
to them.
We could
It's
be at the
right
Mall of
there. The
America
mall's
right
so close, yet so far.
Yeah, I really.
There's a shuttle bus?
Ooh.
Excellent.
Yes. Yeah, there's that
Okay.
too.
Good to know.
Well, again, I asked this at the writers panel, but I'm curious now too. Show of hands, who here, this is their first brony convention ever?
Oh,
yeah.
welcome.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm
awesome,
saying.
you guys.
Hey.
So, yeah. So just for those who haven't been to one of these panels before, maybe if you could introduce yourself and the singing voice,
Yes.
vocal
Yes.
voice
Yes.
that you do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Great. Sounds good. Hola, my name is Michelle Creber, and I voice Applebloom. Aren't you gonna stay for brunch? And the singing voice of Sweetie Belle. So yes, there we go. Very much so. Yes.
And my name is Andrea Libman, and I voice Pinkie Pie. And she's always talking really fast. Cherry, cherry, chimichurri, chimichanga, chimichurri, chimichanga, chimichurri, chimichanga, chimichurri, chimichanga. Okie dokie, Loki. And the other one is Fluttershy, and she's really shy. There's a lot of people in this room, and yay.
Well, I guess my first question for you, just because a lot of these guys may not have heard it before, how did you guys get involved in voicing for My Little Pony?
Oh, yes. I've never heard this.
You've never heard
before,
that question?
Ever.
No.
Would you like to start or?
Sure. So I've been doing voices for cartoons for a pretty long time. I used to do Madeline, Little French Girl, and I did Dragon Tales. I was Emmy. Did Reboot. I did some, Japanese dubbing, Gundam 00, Dragon Ball, that kind of stuff. So I've been doing it for a really long time. And so I got the call to come and audition for My Little Pony, and I thought, and they said they're redoing it again because I was actually Sweetie Belle on the previous My Little Pony. So I thought, oh no, I'm gonna lose my chance because I was on it before. And it was a really exciting audition because I don't know if any of you can relate, but I grew up with My Little Pony, so I already loved it, so I really, really wanted a part. And so I auditioned for it, and you could just cross your fingers. But I never thought that they'd let me do 2 voices on the show. So that's just been the best thing ever. And then all of a sudden we got involved, and then there was these amazing fans. And so it's just been pretty much the most exciting, wonderful time in my career, because I get to meet all of you guys, and it's just been the biggest, best show I've ever worked on. So thank you for making it that. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to meet you. So thanks.
Yes. Well, I started voice acting when I was about 7 or 8, and I didn't really start with the, more like voice on screen kind of acting. I started with more stage and theater performances because my parents were both kind of in that realm of like musical theater and sessions and stuff. So when I was 4, my dad was working on a project, a voiceover project that like required young children as voices for animals. And we played it once on our show, me and Mike and I's. Me and Mike's. There we go. Good grammar. Look at me go.
It's okay.
And so I voiced this tiny little animal. What was it? It's like a fox or something. So that's pretty much how I started. I was 4 and I did one of my dad's session in our little basement. So yeah, that's how I started. Hey. Look at me go today. Great.
Well, My Little Pony has been running now for, we just finished season 4, we're going into season 5. It's been running now for several seasons, and I guess the question for the both of you is, what has changed for you in regards to voicing your characters since season 1 now going into season 5 this fall? How has performing those characters changed, or has the process changed for you?
I wouldn't say it's changed a ton, because one thing that's really wonderful about the writers of the show is they stick true to character for the most part. But the characters are going through different situations that they've never approached before, so you have to find a way to stay within character and bring it to life, but still find something new. So I would say that every episode we record is a different challenge. The writers are super creative with what they come up with, and we have to find a way to bring that to life, make it exciting, but also and I think what's really cool about the cast of the show is we really take a lot of ownership over our characters, and we're not willing to compromise. We'll speak up when we're in a session. We'll say, no, Fluttershy would never say that. So it's kind of nice. We feel we're pretty passionate about it. But the process is similar. And then I guess the only other piece is now we really know we have an audience.
Yeah.
We have to be good.
Mm-hmm. For me and Maddie and Claire, Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle, us being young and young characters, we're growing up, but our characters aren't really in the script. So that's kind of the case with all shows, is that the characters don't grow up, but of course the voice actors do, and that can sometimes be a problem. But I've kind of had to really go higher pitch than my regular voice, because my regular voice has gotten a lot lower since I started when I was 9, right? So I just have to be careful of that sometimes. But we're all very, very comfortable with our voices, so we know what to do. And so yeah, I just have to bring it up a little bit more. No.
Well, one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that you guys aren't just working on My Little Pony, you're also working on a lot of other projects. Can you talk a little bit about some of the other stuff that's going on? That maybe things that you can officially talk about?
I'm allowed to talk about Pac-Man. That's a show that I'm working on. I play Cylindria. It's a fun show on Disney. What else am I allowed? Maya the Bee, we wrapped a while ago, but I heard, actually I don't think they're airing it in the States, but they're going to air it in Canada. So if you live in Canada, anyone here from Canada, like us? Yeah, you three can watch Maya the Bee.
Not necessarily too much in the voice acting area, but I just booked a series regular on a CBC show.
Ooh. you. Congrats.
Thank you. And so it's coming out in the fall, October. So we're starting filming on Friday, actually, when I get back to Vancouver. It's very exciting. It's kind of like the new generation of CBC. It's a very different show from all their previous shows. So it's going to be really cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, and I should say, too, you guys have both appeared on screen as well. Michelle, you've been in episodes of Supernatural. You've been in an episode of Eureka. Any fans of those shows? And then, actually, Andrea, you've been in a couple on-screen roles as well. Care to share?
Yeah, X-Files. Do you know that one?
Yeah.
Andre the Seal, Little Women.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, my brother.
Bro hoof. Okay.
Well, you know, I don't want to take up too much time with these questions because I know these guys have a lot. So like I said, we've got 2 lines that we're going to try and form, I believe, on the sides here. We've got some microphones. If you guys want to start forming those lines while I ask them one last question, if you have questions for these guys, again, remember, kids get to ask first, and then sponsors, and then also just try to remember also that these guys can't talk about anything that has not been released yet. As much as I'd love to grill them on season 5, Andrea. We can't.
If I don't make eye contact, it's like the question never happened.
So I guess, while they form the lines, I actually wanted to ask you guys about lines. For your characters, is there a favorite line of yours or a favorite scene that you've performed in one of your episodes that you can remember?
Well, my favorite scene is where Pinkie is in Party of One and she's losing
I
it.
love that. So funny.
That is correct, madame. And just all those different, you talking to me? It was just fun to do all those inanimate objects.
That's so funny. I love that.
You and Kathy both love those inanimate objects.
What's that?
Great.
You and Kathy Westlock both love those inanimate objects.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about, and then, did you guys see, I guess I was credited as being a seedling. And it just coughed or something? Like, those are the good roles.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely. Oh, hello. I just popped it right off. Little clip thing. Perfect. I think one of my favorite things that Applebloom got to do was, again, another French thing. The cutie mark pox.
Cutie pox.
Cutie pox.
Yep.
That was really fun. Yeah, it was pretty hectic script, so it's quite exciting.
Well, all right. Well, let's get to the questions. I guess we can start over here. Is it on? Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like you're going to explode and 1 being you'd be somewhere else, how excited are you being here?
Oh dear.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Are you excited to be here or what?
10. 10. 10. 10. 10.
Of course.
10.
Always 10. Always 10.
Yeah, it's 10. No, it really is 10. We're really excited. I'm really excited to be in Minneapolis. I think it's awesome here. I've so far eaten some really good food.
Yeah.
And there's so much to see, and people are super friendly, and you guys are here. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
She hasn't admitted it yet, but about a year and a half ago, I was in Miami actually with these two. There was a convention there called Animate Miami, and Andrew says, "Mike, you should start a convention in Minneapolis." And I said, "What makes you say that?" "I love your airport."
It is the best airport.
It is. It really is. It's so cool. I even said that, like, I've never been here at all, and I've never been to the airport, and it's a lot like Vancouver. It's like this whole city. It reminds me, like,
The
out of
airport's
all
better.
of the like American cities that I've been to, this definitely reminds me the most of Vancouver. Like, just the general kind of architecture. I don't know if that's getting too fancy,
it's the
but
seacoast.
Whenever I fly somewhere and I have a choice, it's like, oh, you could connect through here, or I'm like, Minneapolis. It's the best. Like, you can order
cool.
food from an iPad and they bring it to you. Come on.
It's the futuristic airport. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it's always a 10 coming to conventions, seeing you all, talking to you, having little conversations, asking you like how you got into the fandom. It's all so interesting and so lovely for us to hear all your stories, and it's great. It's such a lovely experience. So yes, yes, indeed, yes.
What if you had to crossover with with other hub shows like Pound Puppies and Littlest Pet Shop? What would the story be?
Ooh, that would be fun, wouldn't it? Maybe I always hear that the monkey in Littlest Pet Shop is kind of like Pinkie Pie. So I think maybe.
Is it the one that Peter
What's her name? Is it Minka? The monkey? I think her and Pinkie Pie would just go crazy together. They'd eat a ton of cakes, and then they would just bounce off the walls. Maybe there would be a race between ponies and puppies, and they would see who's the fastest, and it would be Rainbow Dash.
Yep.
Yes.
That would be good. They should do that,
Yeah.
don't you think?
I love it when shows cross over.
A clock villain. How Dolly of you. I think you might grow up to be a writer.
Yeah.
Yep.
I see some potential there.
Yeah. And then you have to cast us in all your shows.
Yes.
Thanks for your question. That was great.
Yes, thank you.
How did you figure out that you were going to be like Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy and Applebloom and Sweetie Belle? Like, how did you figure out you were going to be those characters?
How did we get informed that we were going to be playing the roles? Oh, well, when we book roles, we get a call from our agent, and then they call us and they say, "Hey, remember that show that you auditioned for 3 months ago? Guess what?" So that's pretty much what happened. Yeah, it's not the most exciting thing. Well, obviously, when you find out that you get the role, but it's not like they give you a cake and all this. They give, your agent calls you like,
should.
"Hey,
You know what,
I know, you know what?
I
They
like
should
that
give us-
idea.
honestly,
A cake just shows up your house. You know you booked a role.
yeah.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
a
it's
Ferrari on the side,
chocolate.
you know?
You just take one look at it, you're like, oh, it's chocolate.
What's a typical day in the studio like?
Oh dear. A lot of voices, a lot of, improvisation, I guess. We're always talking in different accents, Indian and then we go to British and all of this stuff. But it's really fun because we especially on this show. I mean, we know each other all quite well because we travel with each other, and so we know each other outside of the studio, and it's great because on a regular show you wouldn't really have that connection with your other cast members. So we're all very comfortable with each other and are comfortable with our director and our producers and stuff. So it's just very fun and very calm and
It's like a comedy show.
yeah.
Comedy of errors.
If they filmed us in the studio, it'd be just as entertaining as the show
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
They really should do that.
Yeah.
All right, first, girls, I just want to say thank you very much for being the voices of such great characters. I mean, you really do help bring that dream alive from the characters, so thank you for that. My question is, I'm very sure you two are very much in love with your characters, but if you had the opportunity, if you had the choice, what other pony would you like to play?
Dear. Competition.
Well, I think it's like background ponies that haven't spoken yet.
Yeah. Background ponies are really fun.
I always wanted to play one of the musical ponies, like Octavia or Lyra.
That's the best feeling is when our producer comes up to us and says, "Okay, you're gonna be playing blah 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 number 2 and blah 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 like Pony in the Village number 3," and it's like yes. It's the most fun thing ever. It's so great.
I got to play Fleetfoot, and she's a Wonderbolt, and that was pretty awesome.
What was the most awkward time and strangest voice acting you have ever done in the history of your career? Like, what scene was the most odd?
Oh.
I think there's been some pretty strange walla. Like I remember doing a sea of shrieking eels. You know, it's just the things. I don't know. Like walla is really weird. There's one scene in My Little Pony that not that long ago where Pinkie Pie was eating, and I had to eat this chocolate cake, but I just kept eating it, and I had to do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. But it could have been worse, you know. Cake's pretty good.
I think one of the strangest things that I've had to do, it's kind of like smaller characters that they tell you that you're gonna do. I did a show. It's like a Japanese show, and I had to be the voice of like a flower that's like evil, and it. I don't even remember what the plot was of this, but I just remember how, like it was all again like this kind of like shrieking like. I don't even know where that show went, but it's like one of those like not prelay but like post production voice acting. So like you're doing it to a screen, right? So that was definitely a unique script.
Yeah, that sounds very Japanese.
As you can tell, we all enjoy watching and getting excited about My Little Pony. What excites you? What do you guys geek out about?
Oh.
I know what Michelle geeks out about. The Office. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, don't even get me started. I know everything there is to know about The Office. That is my pride and joy. I love that show to death. I get so into it that like the season finale, I was crying, and when Michael came on the screen, I screamed at the time. I was like, Michael! I am like 100% Office fanatic. It's that's my kind of.
It's actually kind of scary. We co-host a show called Saturday Night Songs. We're going to be doing a live version of it tomorrow night.
Yes, that'll
which
be
is gonna
very
really cool.
fun.
And if anybody at any point in the IRC chat or in the conversation makes any reference to anything even remotely connected to The Office,
I got
she
you.
can just start quoting. She just
Yes.
keep going. It's
I
amazing.
can like with any subject I can relate it to The Office. I can find a connection to it. Yeah.
Andrea, it looks like you might be playing piano. But you teach piano on the side, so I guess maybe that qualifies as
Yeah, I like pianos.
They're fun. You got the black keys and the white keys, and it's like, hey,
Yeah.
this is cool.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any, maybe shows or book series that you're really into, recently?
Oh, I like the Hunger Games a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Hunger Games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
What's
reading?
better?
It's a Japanese movie, came out a couple years ago. It's a similar.
Is there a book though? Because I like books
I'm sure there's a manga of that.
and
yeah.
movies.
You know what I'm obsessed with right now? The Hobbit. The Hobbit. Yes. Okay. I will admit, 2 years ago in December when I saw the first movie, I hadn't read the books. I hadn't really. I still haven't seen Lord of the Rings because, to be honest with you, I don't know. I just don't know.
Sacrilege.
I tried to watch it, and I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. But now that I've been so into The Hobbit, I'm like, I'm watching that trilogy as soon as I get home. But if you see me in the autograph room, that's what I've been doing. Like, in breaks, when there's no one there, I've just been reading The Hobbit. It's great. But I had to read it for school, right? And I've seen the first movie and the second movie, like, on the big screen. And so I've been like listening to audiobook and watching scenes from the movie, and I've just been getting so into it. And as much as the trilogy is so long, it's like each movie is like 3.5 hours long, I'm never bored. And a lot of people complain about it and like, oh, it's so long, they dragged it out. But I don't know, I just don't get bored by it. Like I could watch it. I could watch it over and over again. Like for some reason, it's just like, yeah, you kill that spider, do that. I don't know. And there's like 100 sword fighting scenes, but I just never get tired of it because they're so classy and they never mess up. Like no matter what, they never die. They're just always like. I don't know. I'm just really into it right now. Know that I'm excited about something when I start flinging my arms around. Then there was that, and then there was this, and then there was this, and okay.
Shadow puppets.
Questions. The first one is, why do you have different voice actors doing your singing voice? I mean, I'm sure you sound great, especially you, Krieger, since you do Sweetie Belle. But why don't you just sing for your own characters? And the second question is, if you had full control and could put your MLP characters in any situation, what situations would you put them in?
Okay, the answer to the first question is to ask production and not us.
Yeah.
That's not our call. That's
yeah.
not our choice. It's their decision, so you can ask them.
If you write for the voice, and then cast you, and if you're good for 2 characters and they sound different, then yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No problem.
And now, what situation will we put our characters in? Because this is an important question, because I know somebody is going to draw it. I take it very seriously. What's that? What was that, a suggestion? What do you think?
No.
Okay, Pinkie Pie. I said in space before, those drawings were pretty good. Pinkie Pie as a pirate, and Fluttershy as a mermaid, and Applebloom as the parrot. Let it be.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Rah, Applebloom!
Right. Next question.
I don't know where to look.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hello. Okay, I just wanted to know, is there a particular actor on the show who you get along with really well, so that when you do Fluttershy or Pinkie Pie with that particular actor who plays his or her character, I guess the chemistry is there.
The magic?
Shows. Yeah.
I think we've been working together for quite a while now. That it's kind of everybody blends, I have to say. But the opposite of that, it's kind of tricky to do scenes with Twilight Sparkle because she's actually not there. So we've got other people that read in for her. So hopefully it's still magical when you hear it.
Yeah.
But it can be tricky because you have to sort of imagine what Twilight would do. So, but I think everyone else is pretty love working with everyone, so it's good.
Yeah. If there's anyone that I mesh with like particularly well in the studio, that'd have to be Peter New. We're pretty crazy. He's like my uncle. He's like a really funny uncle. Like we've been going to conventions for good Lord, it's almost like 2 years now. And at each convention that we go to, we came up with this character called Lord Pilot, and he's a hippo. He's a very fancy hippo, and he lives a very luxurious life. But we always would write notes to each other, like when we're signing autographs, we'd send paper airplanes. Some of you have probably actually seen this in action. But we draw little drawings and poems and tales of Lord Pilot. So that's kind of our special thing that we have, and we do that in the studio sometimes. So yeah.
So that's why you're chugging those things around.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I have a file of these little pieces of napkins and like folded up Applebloom and Peter, like, the pictures that we sign in autograph sessions. It's great.
Hello. First of all, thank you so much for all the great job you do. That was pretty amazing, and I enjoy every episode they do. But
thanks. Thank you.
But my question is, for all the seasons so far, which episodes are you most enjoy? Which episodes are your favorites so far for the 4 seasons now?
Well, I mentioned before, my all-time favorite is still Party of One.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
Hard to beat that.
There's all of the things that I laugh at are honestly Pinkie Pie. That's like the one reason why I actually really I watched season 1 and 2 quite a bit. Like I thought it was really funny. Like I got into
Thanks,
it.
Michelle.
Yeah.
It means a lot coming from you.
Yeah. But yeah, anything Pinkie Pie, I just think it's hilarious. It's great. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right, so my question is, what's the most memorable encounter you've ever had with a single brony before?
Well, there's been lots. I'll share with you something. Actually, I just got a message on Twitter or a tweet from someone last week, and he said that he was blind and that he really appreciated the voice acting on the show and that he would especially, that's what he's going off of, and he said that he loved it and it made it for him. So that was like, kind of as compliments go, it doesn't really get any better than that. So that was pretty special.
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of occasions where fans have said, I mean, really, like, heart-fulfilling things and saying, like, the show has saved me, and, like, it's really, it's brought me to a new level of happy, and, like, I'm happy, and, you know, of course, I mean, a lot of people say that about this show. But, you know, there's been a couple of people who have actually said that it saved them from, it's saved their life, right? And so I've actually gotten quite a few emails and letters about that and saying thank you and stuff. So that's really, I don't even know how to respond to that. I mean, it's amazing. So yeah. I don't know what to say because it's, you know, it saved their life. So it's touching.
Hi, I order Andrea Libman a challenge.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Since you know Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie so well, why don't you do an impression of one character, do an impression of the other?
Oh. Heavens.
That's rough.
Well, you know what Fluttershy's like. She's always like, I don't know. Like, what are you gonna say, Fluttershy? Just spit it out. Yay? Come on. Well, I don't know, Pinkie. I really don't appreciate you saying that. You're always like, chimichurri, changa, or whatever. You know, it's really distracting. Okie dokie.
You know someone knows their characters when.
Did I pass the challenge?
I think you did.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks.
All right, so my question is, out of the executive producers that you've worked with, what are your more favorable moments with them?
Executive producers? Who's that? Like Devin and Sarah?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice.
I don't know. We don't really.
One time they brought in a cake.
Yes. Yes.
That was awesome.
It was great.
Yes, it
and then I had to leave early, and I sneakily like took a tiny.
You weren't sneaky at all. You were like, and your dad's like, what are you doing?
I took this. I was like, no. I took the plate. It was great.
Well, I think one person that doesn't get a lot of mention and maybe really deserves to is Terry Klassen.
Oh, yeah.
No one knows about Terry. Uncle Terrence. He's the best.
Coming to BronyCon.
Is he?
I've heard this.
Baltimore.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Oh my gosh, he's
for
the
those of
best.
you who don't know, Terry Klassen is the vocal director. So he's the guy.
He's the guy that we work with.
Yeah, so he's the one who tries to wrangle them. Tries.
Attempts.
Tries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello. I have 2 questions for you. First, when you're in the studio recording, how many like, how many times do you have to repeat like a single line before whoever's listening says it's just right? And then I'll get to the second question. I'll let you answer the first one.
So what we do is we do 2 runs. We run things by scene so that we can get a flow of going back and forth between characters, and we always do that twice so that we at least have a safety. And then we run it once, we'll get some notes. They'll say, oh, Pinkie Pie, we couldn't understand anything you said. Clarity, I get that note.
I get clarity a lot,
You get clarity too?
Yeah,
because you get kind of...
My accent gets really intense sometimes. And sometimes Terry's like, just say the word normally. You don't have to put an accent on it. Just say the word normally.
Like, can.
It's always, what is it? About. Because it's about, like, out. And he says, out. And we do that for about 1 minute. And I can't even really tell the difference. And he's like, because I say out. And then he says no. And then I say out. And he's like, yes. And I'm like, well, what? It doesn't sound any different. And so I still don't really know how to say that word. And I have to say it a lot. So, and it's an American show, too. So it's like you have to do those pronunciations. You know?
It's one of those crazy Canada-American things.
Yeah.
Suppose
And
we
then
don't know what
after-
we're talking about.
And then after we've done 2 runs, then we'll go back, and there might be certain lines where they'll want something different, and it just depends. And there's certain lines that are tricky, or they may have different ideas. We'll try it this way, or what if this was happening? And you could really get stuck on a line and have to do it 20 times type of thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen too often. Average would be the 2 runs and then maybe a couple lines like 3 or 4 times.
And then sometimes they'll say, like, okay, just give us that line 3 times in a row.
Yeah. And then it loses all meaning.
Yeah. Like, what's the line again?
All right, and second question, I know the previous speaker here kind of asked for an impression from you, Andrea Libman, but I want, could you do an impression of Fluttershy's yay?
Of what?
Fluttershy's yay. Yay.
Oh. Yay. That's easy. I thought you were going to have another crazy task.
It's like engraved in our minds now. Yay, aren't you going to stay for brunch?
All right, my question is kind of for the both of you. Are there voices that you guys enjoy voicing the characters that you usually enjoy, but are there voices you kind of wish you didn't do or kind of didn't really enjoy at all?
Voices that we wish we didn't do, so like what are we ashamed of?
No, like voices that were just kind of iffy and like not really
Just didn't really stick with us. Like, well, it's kind of.
I feel that way when I have to do on shows. You have to do sometimes incidentals, so that means it's just like an extra role, like one line, and it's just tough because they have to use who's ever in the room, and so it comes down to me, and they're like, "We need you to be a woman," and I'm like, "But I'm just a girl." And I sound so young, so it's hard for me to try and be like a mom. So I'd say that's my challenge and struggle. And
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of our job. Is even if we don't like a character, we have to give it all we have, and we have to get into it and get used to it. Even if we don't really particularly like the character or the script or whatever, that's our job, and we have to stick with it. So yes.
Yes, hi. I was wondering, you two obviously have voiced a lot of different characters in your careers. I was wondering if you've ever really connected with one, and as you're reading a script or voice acting them or whatever, if you've ever took with you something that was unique to that character or something that they developed in their, during the show's run or whatever that you've taken to heart?
When I was growing up, I did the voice of Madeline, and I always liked, I was always the smallest kid in my class, so I liked how she said, "Inside I'm tall," and I always thought, inside I'm tall too. So, and I like her attitude, and she's so brave and a leader. So,
I've never really had a character that that is a lot like me. Because I'm odd. I mean, honestly, I'm an odd person. But I mean, there's certain things, even in Applebloom, that, by connecting it with something that is in your life that you can that brings something extra to the character and something personal to the character. So I've done that. Okay, I'll just use Applebloom for example, since obviously we're at a pony convention.
No.
This is actually a
Wait,
Star
what
Trek
is?
con. These people are here to see Robert Picardo.
Yeah, so in Applebloom, I guess she's young and adventurous, and I'm adventurous, and I don't. She's like, there's certain sides of Applebloom that I can't relate to, and there's certain sides that I definitely can. Like her sometimes she gets very excited and passionate about things, and sometimes that lets her down, and I get very into things. Like, no matter what it is, I'm just very passionate about it. So I think that's one thing that kind of reminds me of Applebloom, of myself. So,
yeah. Just assuming that during the next season they're still not going to have the cutie mark slayers having their cutie marks yet. Given that the one thing that Applebloom tried earlier at potion making, she was still doing it. We had in Twilight Time, and she's just making progress. What would you think about that being her special talent?
say that's pretty rad. Yeah, then I mean, a lot of people are suspecting the whole, because the episode in season 2 where they're singing the song in the talent show, and they all have the 3 talents that you see. Like, why aren't you on the scooter? Why aren't you doing arts and crafts? So that's kind of where I'm sure what you guys are all like. I bet you it's gonna be something arts and crafts, but potion making would be very cool.
I think it's gonna be unicycling.
Yeah. Or hot dog making.
Eating?
That was
Hot
the
dog
randomest
eating?
example I could have possibly just come out of my head. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
When you work at the studio, what is your favorite part about working there?
Tabitha's cookies?
Yeah. And the people.
Yeah.
The best part about working is that we work with amazing, funny, kind, awesome people. It's
Absolutely.
the best thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And the cookies.
Yes, and the cookies.
First off, I just want to say I'm huge fans of your guys' characters in the show. It's really fun seeing you guys on screen. But my question is, if you guys could write in your characters saying any line you wanted, what line would that be?
Donut! Just like
Perfect.
that.
Oh, I don't know. I am the captain now. I'm the captain now. I just like that line. Apparently, that's like, because that guy who won the Oscar, or did he win the I don't know whether he did, but in the new movie that came out. Help me out here.
Are you talking about Captain Phillips?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just think that's like a really cool line. It's just, I say that all the time. I'm like, I am the captain now. Take my friend's cracker. I am the captain now.
Hello there.
Hello.
So my question is, in the episode Philly Vanilli, how Fluttershy is very shy and doesn't like to perform, in public, and just would prefer to perform, behind a curtain. I guess my question is, when you're doing your voices and is there anything that you would prefer to have with you, or that you do to when you're on cue and on action, that would help you to, feel more comfortable doing your voices when you for the show?
I feel pretty comfy. Been doing it a long time, and when I get in the studio and I'm behind a microphone, it feels like home. So, I always have, I guess, water with me is good.
Water's good.
Tea if I'm feeling a little scratchy. Scratch.
Yep.
That's
Pretty
about it.
That sums it up.
You want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
You don't want to wear any noisy clothes. And that's about it.
Yeah.
And then
I'll have my Contigo.
Your what?
For those of you, if I have a Contigo every day of my life. Anywhere I go.
What is that?
It's a thermos.
It's that? Is that what that is?
Yes. Okay. A Contigo is a wonderful contraption.
What's so
it's-
great about it,
Because
Michelle?
it keeps the water so cold for like 18 hours. It's amazing. Most people think I'm drinking coffee or something. I'm not. I'm drinking ice cold water, and it's fantastic because it holds water and it keeps it cold. How much more amazing can something get?
It's a thermos.
Because I know, but it keeps things very hot or very cold. It's
a thermos.
No, okay, no, you don't understand. Okay, I don't drink anything. The only thing that I drink is water. Sometimes I'll drink orange juice or, I don't know, hot chocolate, but I drink water all the time.
I saw you drink a milkshake today.
I did. I drank a milkshake.
Did you drink it out of a
Technically,
Contigo?
guys, that's ice cream and strawberries. That's not a drink. I'm talking about like
That's not a
soda
drink.
or like Coca-Cola. I can't have any pop. Yeah. So something that I just love about life is having ice cold water all the time. And that's just what makes me happy.
Before
So
we
you know
get
what?
too far off on a thermos.
Sorry.
segment.
These things make me so happy. I have like 20 of them.
I did want to point out for Philly Vanilli, you actually do sing for Fluttershy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So she
of
was
course.
singing Fluttershy's part in that episode, and I think that that's worthy of a bit of applause because that was a
Oh,
really
thank
good.
you. Thanks. That's nice. Thanks.
My question is, how has the show impacted your life?
A lot.
Wow.
Big time?
Yeah.
Like, boom.
Well, yeah. I mean, we get to do this every month, and we get to see you, and we get to talk to you, and have so much fun, and travel a bunch of places, and we have such good friends on the show, and we make good friends with you, all you bronies. We never would have expected this. We always say this, but honestly, it's true. I would have never guessed this. I mean, this is
And
just amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
And meeting new people and learning. I mean, the more people you meet and talk to, the more you grow as a person. I really feel that way.
That was
so
philosophical.
Yeah, I think it's true.
It is true.
I think it's just the best thing about life. So I feel just incredibly lucky. And so I kind of remind myself, like, remember how lucky you are to be on this show?
Yeah.
It's true.
'Cause
Yeah.
when I auditioned for this, I mean, I just thought it was a regular audition. Someone is cackling back there. Someone's like making an evil potion.
I think, you know what's crazy now, though, is now when people audition to come on the show, it's crazy, like the pressure.
And when we auditioned for this, we're like, oh, this is cool. All right.
Yeah, we're like,
that's fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Hi.
Hi, hello.
Outside of like work and conventions, do you ever like use your voices in everyday settings? Like if you go to like a fast food joint and like pick up food, do you ever like accidentally use like Pinkie Pie or Sweetie Belle or something like that?
I don't think those particular characters, but I do find that when I come out of a session, I'm really animated. Yeah, what's going on? It's just like, calm down.
Calm
Self. A little bit.
Yeah, I don't really use my Little Pony voices, but I always talking in accents. I'm always like I just break into things when I'm talking to people.
I just talk in my normal voice when I answer the phone, and that's enough for someone to ask if my mom's home. So it's true, all the time.
About one of the episodes. All right. In the what was it? Cutie Pox episode, when Applebloom has to speak French. Did you already know how to do that, or did they have to bring someone in to teach you, or what was the deal with that?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know French very well, and I'm not even taking French this year in my school year. But I do have very good pronunciation because I good ears. Like so, in terms of the accent, it's like it wasn't a trouble. So it was just a matter of figuring out how to pronounce the words. So yeah, but it was me. It was me.
Hi.
Hi.
When you first heard, how did you react when you first heard that a majority of the show's audience was older men?
This poor guy, you just asked his question.
Well, okay, I've told this story a few times, but we were in a session, and Jason, the one of the animation directors, came in and said, "Yeah, online, like there's these bronies." We're like, "Well, what's that? What's a brony?" And he goes, "Oh, it's guys that like My Little Pony." And we just thought he was pulling our leg. Like, we're like, "Well, Jason,
No, what
maybe
are you
you need to
talking
take a
about?"
vacation. Like, you work really hard." But it wasn't until we actually, some fan mail starts reaching us somehow, or like, maybe there is something going on. Google BRONIES. What is that? But it's not until you go to a convention and you meet people that you really know what it's all about, and that you can really recognize that it's just a truly positive thing, where people are, finding joy out of, friendship. It's kind of awesome.
And it's unfortunate because when people don't know about bronies and they ask me about bronies, there's just so much to say, and like I don't know how to describe it. You just have to see it. You have to really understand like why this has happened. And it sounds, I mean, I thought it was weird for a couple of days when I first found out about it, but then, the more you see, and it's completely harmless, and it's awesome. It's so awesome. And I really want people to understand, like, these people are so amazing. Like, I love talking to them. I love going to convention. They're like, they're fans of My Little Pony, and they're men in their middle ages. I'm like, yeah, don't you?
Yeah.
No, you're not. But anyway, yeah. So we never expected it again, but we have figured out what it's all about, obviously.
I think about half of us here never expected it either.
Is that a pirate and a mermaid?
Yes. Yes. Is there a parrot?
Congratulations.
This guy is on it.
to you.
All right.
Look at this. Yes.
It's so good.
Gosh, it's awesome.
The Dread Pirate Pinkie Eye meets
parrot
Mershai.
so cute.
This is amazing. It's so good, you
my
guys.
And you got an
Maybe
Applebloom parrot.
after the
Zoom up
panel.
on it? Can the camera zoom up on it? It's awesome. Is it zoomed up? It's
Isn't
so
that
good.
Fantastic.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Oh my. Okay. Pinkie Pie's cutie mark, which is balloons. The balloons turned into skulls. That is amazing.
Oh, they totally did.
Fluttershy's got starfishes. I love this.
That is amazing.
I love it.
I think we've got time for just about one or two more questions, but I do want to remind everybody that we have another voice actor panel tomorrow. And then on Sunday, there's going to be the voice actor versus writer panel, which is going to be kind of cool. We're going to have writers and voice actors on the stage together talking about that interplay. So, and then also, just before we get to those questions, I want to let everybody know that there's still a couple tickets available for the VIP acoustic concert session that these two are going to be performing in. That's a small room event. But tonight, actually, you are going to be performing in a certain rock concert.
Yes.
Which is going to be in this very room.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, with one
Yes.
black griffin and your parents.
Yes.
Who
Indeed.
are lurking in the back over there.
Righto.
So,
Oh, hello, Gabriel.
all right. So do we have a couple more questions left? Two? All right, let's get them.
Other than the characters you voice, who would your favorite ponies be?
Pinkie Pie.
Aww.
I already said it. I love Pinkie Pie. She's the best.
Applebloom. Applebloom. Hey, Applebloom.
Hello. Was wondering, do you guys keep up with like the comic books and the other books that are sold? Are you excited that your characters are in there?
Well,
I should.
sometimes fans like they'll come up to me and they'll kind of show it to me, so I get a sense. And I have received comic books, as I'm sure you have too. So I've pondered.
I should. I should. I think it would be really fun to voice, maybe for a panel or something, like a scene from a comic book or a couple of scenes. Yeah.
Be cool.
Maybe we could do that tomorrow. Yeah?
Okay, so actually, I'm on that note. Who here has read the Pinkie Pie micro series, the one with Poniachi? Okay, Ted Anderson, the guy who wrote it. I don't think he's in the room right now, but he's in the vendor hall today. So we might be able to do something with that. Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Maybe. Yeah,
Maybe.
we'll see.
We'll see. We'll try.
That'd
and do
be fun.
something.
Yeah. Cool. All
right, cool.
Could have code names for them, so Hasbro won't find out.
All right. Well, I do want to remind everybody also that I think you guys have an autograph session, right?
We
after
do.
this
We have
panel?
autographs right now, so come and see us if you would
So
like to
the
get something
autograph room is
signed.
down there if you guys are looking to get some things signed.
Yeah.
Again, we've got a lot of really cool panels featuring both of these two fine, upstanding voice actresses.
Oh, yes. Indeed.
Stretching it.
Can we get a round of applause for Andrea Libman
Thank you.
and Michelle Creber?
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks for your awesome questions. Thanks for
thank
coming.
you so much.